Welcome to the Resistance broadcast, everybody. I'm John. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a fun show in store for you today because we're going to be playing a game, and we know you like games out there. So we're bringing back Who Are You, which is our quote guessing game. This week it's going to be James bringing the quotes, and it's going to be me and Lacey facing off in our typical 9 rounds. But more importantly, we want you guys out there to play along. So as always, you can brag in the comments at how much better you did than we did. But we have a lot of fun to talk about on the show today before that. But one thing I wanted to bring up to everyone out there, we touched on it Monday. We still have the Rate the Resistance campaign going on for our Apple Podcast users. If you'd like to win a Make Solo 2 Happen t-shirt that doesn't look like this, it is red with white letters, and don't bother going to our Teespring store to buy it because you can't. It's gone. Can't buy it. The only chance you can get it is by rating us on Apple Podcasts. Do that, take a screenshot, tweet it to us at RBATSWNN using the hashtag RateTheResistance, and you're in to win. You can submit until July 3rd, so good luck to you. And also, in the meantime, you're helping us out, so we really appreciate that. James, Lacey, how are you guys doing on this Thursday, June 25th? Is that right? Or do days matter anymore? I don't even think.
No. Well, first of all, I'm not playing the game. I'm out this week.
Yep.
I got together some quotes, and it's kind of funny. I ended up getting nearly double that I needed. I was stacking them up, and I guess now I'm going to have a nice pool to choose from. So, if I feel like throwing you guys a couple weird curveballs, I do have a couple of those questions in there as well. So
all right,
we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Lacey, what's up?
Nothing. Ready to talk Star Wars.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start things off by our segment Will of the Force, which James is going to guide us through right now.
I fear nothing, for all this, as the Force wills it.
Will of the Force this week is back a baby, right?
Right.
Of course, I don't know that we have enough ability in ourselves to come up with all the questions all the time, right? So that's why we give our patrons, our resistance officers, if you will, a chance to pop in. If you guys don't know about that, we have like a resistance officer Patreon kind of thing you can join, levels 1 through 5, but levels 2 through 5 get to submit their questions to Will of the Force, and they get to see it happen on the show. We've actually got a couple of those on the show today. No generals this week, so sorry about that, but I do want to give a quick shout out to the generals in our resistance, and that is Carmelo, Andrew Staley, Jeremy Myers, Neil Shaw, David Probus, John Reese, Michael Harrison, Tampa Movie Guy, Michael Gaines, Jetta Rosewater, Beer Fett Bethany, Russ Harbison, Kendall Gellner, and Val Trichkoff. So
thanks,
all of them are our biggest contributors, and they help keep the base running. They are the people that are submitting these questions. Our first one, though, is from Resistance Officer Major Ollie. Major Ollie wanted to know, will we see Darth Vader in any kind of live-action Star Wars in the next 3 to 5 years? Lacey, you're going first on this one. What do you think about Darth Vader?
Yeah, I think we're going to see Darth Vader and Kenobi at some point. So yes, we will.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you on that one. Maybe not Kenobi, but 3 to 5 years is a long time for them not to use the asset of Darth Vader. John, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. We've kind of been beating that drum in a few different spots on Patreon, on some of our bonus episodes, and also on Monday we talked about it, why it makes sense that Vader will pop up in Kenobi, because he can without necessarily crossing paths with Obi-Wan and screwing up that a presence I haven't felt since line from A New Hope. So you stretch out Kenobi's movie into a series to 4 to 6 hours. You want to give me 5 minutes of Darth Vader? I'm all in. Makes a lot of sense. The Golden Goose, as we talked about, and as Andrew brought up, General Andrew in his pod race on Monday too. So yeah, I think we are going to see Vader, and maybe as soon as that Kenobi series.
Man, it's tricky, man. That's always that thing, right? Darth Vader. Are we ever going to branch away from the Galactic Civil War and all that? Man, but that is Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
We got another one here. This one is, will Jon Favreau have any involvement with Lucasfilm and Star Wars beyond The Mandalorian? Mandalorian's done. Just finished up its 21st season.
Nice.
Is Jon Favreau sticking around? John, what do you think?
I hope so, especially after having watched the Disney Gallery stuff. All those episodes really make you realize how much he has his finger on the pulse of what Star Wars is and how it works. And nothing would make me happier than if he signed some kind of 10-year deal to take over Lucasfilm, to be honest with you. I don't know if that's something he's interested in, but I would, if I was Disney, I would back that Brink truck up and dump whatever amount of money that guy wanted to come in and run the ship, assuming Kathleen Kennedy's, wrapping up after her contract ends, of course. That's no disrespect to her at all. But I love The Mandalorian, and I was going in not the biggest fan of the idea of it, but always a big Jon Favreau fan, and anything he wants to do in Star Wars, especially after seeing that documentary and seeing him explain why he does the things he does, I am 100% behind him continuing in Star Wars in any way. Even if he does a little more Rio Durant.
That's true. It's a good point. Lacey, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he will have involvement in Star Wars and Lucasfilm beyond The Mandalorian because, like John said, with the gallery, it's clear that this is kind of like him playing in his toy box when he was little. And I think for many people, it's the ultimate dream to work on a Star Wars project. And everything that he's done for Lucasfilm and Disney Plus, like, they're going to let him do whatever he wants. And I think he really, really loves Star Wars. So I could only imagine that he'd want to take projects after The Mandalorian within the Star Wars universe.
I agree with everything you're saying about Jon Favreau, the person. I want him to come back. I think he's great. I think he has magic to his ability in storytelling and making movies and film and everything like that. But I think The Mandalorian is his thing. I kind of think that if Jon Favreau, it's not a step up. Will Dave Filoni move up to movies? Maybe. We'll talk about that. But I don't think Jon Favreau is given the show so they can test him out to see if they want him for a film. Mm-hmm. I think that they said, Jon Favreau, we would love to have you. You're our ace. We would have never thought we could get you, but we got you. What do you want to do? I think he goes, I want to be the guy who does the first Star Wars television series. I'm going to do it all, and then that's my baby. That's my Star Wars legacy. Mm-hmm. So I actually think by his own choice, he'll probably be done with Star Wars after he goes, I'm out. I'm out, baby. Landed The Mandalorian, and I'm done. That'll be a bigger legacy than even doing a Star Wars feature film. Mm-hmm. Like, I think Jon Favreau will go down in Star Wars history more so than, say, like Ron Howard. He's great, but he did a Star Wars movie and then
would you be down with movie. President of Lucasfilm, Jon Favreau? I know I'm breaking.
I mean, that's hard because you get into like the business of it, but I mean,
that's more than just doing a movie. Is what I mean. Yeah.
As a celebrity, like running, you know what I mean, like running the business. Yeah, sure, I like that idea. I just don't know how well you would be. That's a different job, right? Yeah. I like Jon Favreau being creative and not so much like the business of it.
Guy,
but
yeah,
we'll see. I don't know. We got another one coming from a Resistance officer this week, though, and that's coming from Admiral Dale Brooks. Dale wanted to know, will the second season of The Mandalorian, speaking of, delve into by whom and for what reason Tiny was being held prisoner, for the lack of a better term. So to sum this up, we know that Baby Yoda was captured, but we don't exactly know why or for what reason. Do we think that season 2 is actually going to delve into these stories? Lacey, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it will, because they have to go into those details. I think there's a lot of questions that were raised in season 1. You know, where the scientist doctor guy come from? Are there other people that they're looking for? Is it just him? Do more of him exist? Like, there's so many questions around this that they have to kind of answer. So yes, I think they will get into those details in season 2.
John, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to be doing this whole thing where we're all agreeing a lot on Will the Force, but
I just disagreed with you guys.
That's true, but I do. It seems like an obvious thing to me, because why would they set it up without continuing on? I mean, there's so much more about Baby Yoda we need to learn, including his name and where he comes from. So, and I think Moff Gideon's involved here in some way. So yeah, I don't think they're just gonna leave that and be like, you know what, forget that story, that plot point.
What's funny though is I think we said that after the first episode, or second, or third, maybe somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. I feel like in a weird way we were like, ooh, he's like a scientist. He wants him back. What does he want him for? And then we finally got to the episode where he was captured and they were totally doing whatever they were going to do to him. And when Mandalorian walks into that room, they basically just had him sitting on a table and they're like, beep, boop, 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 buttons, little gizmos. It looked like a scene out of the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, like Mike TV world, where it's like, we're gonna teleport Yoda into this other thing over here. Beep, boop, boop, boop. Yeah. It really didn't seem very like scientific, but I think you guys bring up the good point though, is that it seems like they wouldn't have told us that if it wasn't somewhat important in trying to figure out more about the science of why they were needing this asset. Mm-hmm. So I think they're probably going to cover it. And one other thing, the black orb thing that they use is the mind probe. I assume it's the same thing that they tried to use on Princess Leia in A New Hope. Mm-hmm. So no one has really brought this up. Were they using a mind probe on Baby Yoda? And is that something to try to attract information like that? I need to learn more about that, by the way. Like, people have said, like, oh, look, that's the thing, but no one's explained why was it there, as far as I understand it. So,
right.
Now that Shadowfall is out, I can say that there's a main character that is a torture droid. One of those torture droids.
A torture
droid? I would say a main character, but I would say definitely a character of importance in the story.
Interesting.
But yes, yeah, I think that they're going to come back to that. So let's move on to the next one. And this is the last one. We got, when Lucasfilm brings back Rey and our Evergreen Legacy characters for more movies, will the recently outspoken Oscar Isaac return as Poe Dameron? John, this is going to you first. What do you think about the recently outspoken Oscar Isaac?
So I think he will return as Poe Dameron, but he's going to get killed early in the first movie.
Really?
Yes. I think it'll be... I don't think he is interested in being in it for the long haul, but he'll come back to honor Daisy and Boyega, and it'll add a, holy cow, this is serious. Like, we just lost a main character right out of the gate. We don't know what's about to happen now. And I think that'll be a big sacrifice on his character's part, and also Oscar's way to be like, I came back for you guys, but I'm out. So yes, but...
All right, Lacey, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Exactly the same answer, actually. I think he'd come back to get the paycheck, to bring his character back, but then also just die in a crazy sacrificial way that Rey and Finn then have to carry on the mission and carry on what their journey is without him, and he'll drive them to continue on.
And what better way to vault your new villain than to have them kill Poe Dameron?
Right.
Like kind of like Kylo with Han Solo on a lesser
And you have the
degree,
whole
but
BB-8 dynamic too. Like that would be terrible
a
for
very,
BB-8
very
and-
sad BB-8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I don't want to
So
see
let
that
me
now.
let me ask you this, because I'm sure that there are listeners who don't know what is the recently outspoken aspect of this.
He's openly said multiple times that he wouldn't come back and he wouldn't be on Disney Plus and he wouldn't give back he wouldn't take the money, and like he's made comments and jokes that seem somewhat serious,
said
especially like
He pushed
I'm not
his chips, or he's cashing in his chips. He's kind
Yeah.
of said, I'm done.
I'm done with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was on the press tour before the movie came out, by the way. This wasn't even
Was it before the movie came out?
Yes, it wasn't even like this is when people were like, what's going on with this movie?
Yeah.
Because they all had these attitudes that were like, no, I'm good. And you're like, what?
And you know what's funny? I know, James, you have to give your answer, but making the movie, Oscar Isaac was the voice of the cast. Remember that? And he would always be like, this is so fun. It's
Yeah.
like doing the first one. This is great. I love it. And then by
That
the
last
end,
press tour, though,
by the
he
end,
was
he's
just like, yeah.
He's like so fried with it. He's done.
To the point that Carrie Russell was on like in interviews with him, and she would just be awkwardly laughing. Like you could feel it radiating off of her, where she's like, "Oh, ha, ha, ha."
I
Like-
remember the
She's like,
Disney
I'll take the
Disney Plus
series.
one.
yeah.
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 I think that he would. I don't know, man. I think like when we're talking about this inevitable evergreen, they're bringing it back. It feels like we're talking in like 4 years from now, and we don't know that this isn't going to be 20 or 30 years
10.
from now.
Yeah.
I mean, even 10 seems like it's potentially right around the corner. So I think after you've done as much as I assume Oscar Isaac will do in his career, he will be okay with coming back to a character and potentially being like, I remember I was like really tired by the end of it, but you need me for 3? All right, fine, I'll do 3. So I think he'll come back. I think we're gonna see
Like
him return.
full-fledged return.
I think part of it is just the fact that you gotta assume that we don't know when they plan on bringing that character back to live action, and it could be a long ways from now. So I think if it was in 5 years from now, he'd be like, no thanks.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking later down the line, then I think, it's the same as like them wanting to do 1986 fourth Star Wars movie. Han Solo's like, no. Or Harrison Ford's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm done. But, hey, give it some time, give it a bunch of years. Yeah, I'll return.
You start doing a couple of Hollywood homicides, and you're like, Frantic wasn't that good. No, Frantic was kind of good. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, why not go back to the movies? Everybody thinks he killed his wife.
Yeah, right.
Guy's jumping out of waterfalls, like trying to prove he's innocent.
H. Ford, man.
Might as well go back and be in the movies. All right, that's it for Will of the Force this week. We got a big game coming up. John, you want to explain the rules?
Who are you?
All right, so Who Are You is the name of the game. A lot of you who listen and have been watching us for a long time know the deal already. You got your pads out. You're ready to get involved. But it's our movie quote guessing game. And this week, quotes were gathered by James, who will host, as Lacey and I will be facing off. James will give us both the same 9 quotes from Star Wars movies. He won't say what the movie is. And we will have to guess who said them. We'll have to each write down our guesses, show it, and say it at the same time, or on James's count to 3. Each question is worth 2 points. Each person gets a hint to use only once throughout the game. The hint is always what movie the quote is from. If the person guesses right after using the hint, that quote is now only worth 1 point for them. But if the other person guesses it right, it's still 2 points for that round. The person with the high score.
Can I bring in the rule of I text it to the person?
Text the movie to the person?
Because I don't like that. If the other person uses it, then the other opponent gets the hint.
Well, then we're leaving the audience out of it, if you're fine with that.
So they're going to get the 2 points.
Okay. No hints for you. How about that, audience?
Yeah.
All right. The person with the highest score at the end of 9 rounds is the winner. If there is a tie, each question thereafter will be sudden death. So whoever misses first loses in overtime. So that's the deal. Let James host with the most. Batu Coca-Cola t-shirt.
Yeah.
Take it away.
All right, guys. You got your papers ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Like I said, I'm all over the place, so I'm gonna kind of. I don't really want to do them in order. Let's see here. What do you got? What do we got?
James, are you keeping score?
I can keep score. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I don't know why. I guess it's because I'm usually playing.
I can keep score if you want. If you trust me. Well, I might pull a Lando.
Well, John, I don't trust you, so
I'm like
No, I'm
Lando
just kidding.
or the Houston Astros.
All right, so let's go with this one. All right, first question. Here we go. First quote. You must do what you feel is right, of course. You must do what you feel is right, of course. This, of course, was said by General Hux in Force Awakens.
You're not supposed to give it away. You're supposed to text that to the person.
The name of the person who said it to?
I think I might know this, and I have a weird explanation as to how.
You must do what you feel is right, of course. I'm really interested in this one because Lacey's beat me, John's beat me. I'm the worst.
Lacey, did you write anything down yet?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's right. Can you say the quote one more time?
I can. You must do what you feel is right, of course.
James, do you want us to tell you if we've written something down so you know that we're both done, or how do you want to go?
I mean, you can, but I also feel like, both of you would be like, I just want him to keep doing it as long as possible.
No, I hear you. But then I know there have been times in the past where both people are done and are like, oh
yeah,
I didn't,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you guys just a few more. What do you think?
Just say it one more time.
You must do what you feel is right, of course. All right.
I feel like I've seen this, like, not this person. I feel like I've seen it happen, and I just can't place where it's happened. This line.
Well, we've seen all the movies,
yes.
So.
Well, like I'm saying, like I feel like I can
I
picture
know.
the scenario, but
Yeah. All right.
wait, one
you
more
guys
time.
got it
One
ready?
more time. One more time.
One more time. You must do what you feel is right, of course.
I'm gonna hate myself if
Are you changing it?
Ooh. I'm gonna hate myself if I'm right the first time, and then I'm gonna do it.
But then you're going to love yourself if you changed it and got it right.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. The answer's in 3, 2, 1.
Padme.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Was he saying it to Padme?
Nope. He was saying it to Luke in A New Hope.
Alec Guinness.
Oh.
So the reason why I know that quote's been like burned in my head for a while is one of my first versions I had of A New Hope was taped from TV, and that's a line that heads right into a commercial break.
Is it
And
really?
I don't know why I know that or remember that.
It kind of makes
but
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see
All right.
in my head, I pictured a scene where Anakin was telling Padme not to do something. And
That
then
makes
she was
sense.
very adamant that she was like, no, I'm doing this. And then he was like in that like Attack of the Clones where he's just like, okay, well, if you feel like you need to do this,
Yeah.
like kind of like backing down. That's what I pictured in my head.
To me, I felt like the "you must do what feels right" is like anybody could say that, but the "of course" I felt Obi-Wan-ish. But anyway.
Yeah, it was Luke. Like Luke said, like I can take you as far as Anchorhead, but then I got to go back to my uncle, and he's like, "You must do what you feel is right." Yeah.
All right, the next one is prepare my ship, alert the local troops, send a division. Prepare my ship, alert the local troops, send a division. Folks, you know what the best part of this is? Is that I know the answer.
Oh, man.
It's not as hard when there's a hyphen and a name right below the quote.
Right. That's usually the giveaway, you know? Say it again.
Prepare my ship, alert the local troops, send a division.
Man.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
This is one of those that I feel a few things are dancing in my head. Lacey, did you already write something down?
Dancing in my head.
Yeah.
You
Prepare my ship,
yeah.
alert the local troops, send a division. I know we gave it a lot of time on the first one, but let's get a name down.
I'm second guessing myself now.
Uh-oh. Don't do this on every one of them.
All right.
Of course, you didn't have Obi-Wan. Who was your first guess on the last one?
Anakin, I told you.
Okay, sorry, I missed it.
James, one more read.
You guys ready?
One more read real quick. And then-
One more read is prepare my ship, alert the local troops, send a division.
Oh, God.
Lacey.
If I don't get this and it ends up being what I think it might be, I'm going to be so upset.
All right. Whatever.
All right, get the name down.
All right.
Get the name down.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, in 3,
I don't feel
2,
good about this.
1, go.
Orson Krennic.
Kylo Ren.
It's Kylo Ren.
Is that Rise of Skywalker?
It's Rise of Skywalker.
That's what I started with, and I was like, I know he says prepare my ship in The Last Jedi. I know
That's what screwed me up too.
And I know he says something like that when he's talking about Pisana.
Yep, it's right after Pisana. They said the Lacey character, if you will, comes up and says, I scanned this. It's from Pisana. And he goes,
what did I just say? I said, if I
my
don't
ship.
get this and it's what I think it is, I'm going to look like an idiot. It's because in my head, I was like, this is definitely Kylo Ren.
send a division.
Yeah, but Lacey, it is like one of those arbitrary Star Wars quotes.
Nope. Just move on. Move on to the next one, please.
All right. The next one is, let's see here. What's that? All right, here we go. Queen Amidala is returning home, which will put pressure on the Federation and could widen the confrontation.
Well, I'm not going to ask for a hint.
Queen Amidala is returning home, which will put pressure on the Federation and could widen the confrontation. Boba Fett.
Silent Bob. I got a few things dancing around in my head here.
All the prequel ones are tricky because you feel like it could be a line from anybody.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Read it again.
Queen Amidala is returning home, which will put pressure on the Federation and could widen the confrontation.
You know what's so funny? I'm thinking about the political ramifications, which is so ridiculous that you have to do that in prequel Star Wars. I'm like, wait, who would want to relay that information? Oh man.
Okay, one more
I think
time.
I think there was like a little bit before this too. It was just like the Senate is, I don't know. But Queen Amidala is returning home, which will put pressure on the Federation and could widen the confrontation.
All right. You know what? Whatever. Let's see. All right. I got to guess. Not feeling very good about it.
What do you got, Lacey? You got something written down?
Not really. Can you say the quote one more time?
Yep. Queen Amidala is returning home, which will put pressure on the Federation and could widen the confrontation.
Whatever.
Again, I know the position that you guys are in, but
I'm winging
knowing the answer, I'm like, I can't see certain characters saying that because there's a lot of dialogue there.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Mace Windu.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Mace Windu.
Oh! I was going to say Mace Windu
I
first.
had Qui-Gon.
And you changed it?
Mm-hmm.
Have you kept any of your first answers down?
I had... Who did I have on here? I had Mace Windu, Qui-Gon, Palpatine, Mace Windu.
Yeah, honestly, those were the 3 I was bouncing around too.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
So I was kind of giving you guys a little bit of a hint by the fact that there's a lot of dialogue. Obviously, that's not Yoda, and obviously, it's not going to be like Plo Koon, who might have like a line.
A scene where Qui-Gon or Obi-Wan are reporting back to them, and then they're talking amongst themselves. That's what I pictured.
Qui-Gon is a good guess. I'll admit, I could see him saying that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think this started with like something like the Senate is about to choose a new chancellor or something like that. And I was like, that's going to take away Palpatine as a viable option. So, all right, that's it. 2-4 right now. The next quote.
This is question quote 4.
The quote 4 is, how did you do that? No one trained you? No one? How did you do that? No one trained you? No one?
This is tricky. This is... Man, like my first instinct today. I got nothing.
Remember, the movie hint is still available.
Yeah, I know. Read it again.
It's, how did you do that? No one trained you. No one?
So they say no one, and then the third no one is a question. The second one's not? Or is it
No,
both?
they're all questions.
No one trained you? No one?
How did you do that? No one trained you? No one?
How did you do that?
I was kind of changing up the cadence of how it's said a little bit to read it flatter, but...
And I don't want to hear from you out there who are like, oh, it's so easy, I got it.
I will say there might be some curveballs. I might have a little bit of fun.
And this is just one person saying it. This isn't dialogue back and forth, right?
No, this is one person.
All right, one more time.
How did you do that? No one trained you? No one?
Lacey, do you write something down?
No, I have no idea. Guessing.
All right, guessing. Let's get a name on the paper. I hear writing.
Yeah, I'm writing.
We're getting there.
I'm writing something. This doesn't make any sense, though.
How did you do that? No one trained you? No one? Are you both are you both lost?
Yes. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm not taking the hint. I'm not doing it. I refuse. I absolutely refuse.
But if Lacey's just as lost, then this
No,
I
don't care.
So then the bonus really doesn't mean anything if nobody ever takes it.
No, I'll take it eventually. It's too early in the game.
You want me to read it again?
Just one more time, I guess.
I can give you guys a light hint.
No.
No.
All right, no.
That's not the game.
Yeah.
How did you do that? No one trained you? No one?
All right.
All right, that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Anakin?
Cassian.
Finn. Force Awakens.
I started
Was it when they're
writing
talking to
Finn!
each other in the ship?
It's right after they blow up the 2 TIE fighters.
Yeah, and they're talking to each other.
Yep. I was going to say, think about the cadence of what's happening here. He says, no one trained you. No one, meaning like somebody probably said something to him like,
Is that
right
when they're
at the same
circling each
time.
other? I would argue that's
did
multiple
you-
lines. Because they go back and forth with each other. That's a full conversation.
Well, we both got it wrong.
Okay, I'm just... Because that's why I didn't put that, because that's not one line.
I
It's
wrote
back
Finn
and forth.
and crossed it out, so I screwed myself. But
all right, I hear that criticism, that it's more than one line.
I
but
would have
feel
argued
like
it
the
more
fact-
if someone got it right.
Yeah,
But nobody got it right.
The fact that it happened within like probably 2 seconds of screen time, he says all of that. I figured it was
Right.
it was
But
one
I'm thinking
segment.
like script wise. If it's written in the script, he's saying something, then she's saying something, then he's saying something, then she's saying something.
I don't think they're going back and forth. I think they're like at the exact same time. You can only really make out what they're saying.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
all right.
No one got it.
Well, what's the score and where are we at? Keep them up to date, James.
Right now, it's still 4-2.
And we are in question
You are in question 5.
5. All right.
And question 5 is going to be stick to the plan, do not improvise. John's got it, I think. Or at least he's got an answer quickly. Stick to the plan, do not improvise. Lacey's writing down something.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Beckett.
Beckett. 2 points awarded to both contestants.
So do you want to hear
Score is
how
now 6-4.
want to hear how I think I remember that one? Like, do you think the audience
Because you
cares
remember
about
him
that?
saying it.
So I had this theory that line was added after Lord Miller got fired, and when they were fired for too much improvisation.
Stick to the plan, do not improvise.
Like Lawrence Kasdan's, like he was saying that to them the whole time they were making the movie, and then they threw it as a Beckett line. That's just my
See, I just see him saying it to each Han and Chewie. Stick to the
Yeah.
plan. Do not.
They're in the
improvise.
cockpit right before they're about to get going. Yeah,
All right.
love that guy Beckett. Rest in peace.
Gonna miss that bird. All right, what do we want? What are we doing here? All right.
6-4, question 6.
I don't know. You guys want a curveball?
I just want the quote.
You keep saying
All right.
curveball.
Like we're not picking.
Because I got these ones that are like kind of fun, but I don't know how you'll feel about them. All right. The beginning of their end. Destroy it. The beginning of their end. Destroy it.
I don't even know what to think of this. It almost sounds like it's like halfway through a line, like the first part. Like, this will be the beginning of their end. Destroy it. Are you like cutting off part of a line?
No.
That means George Lucas must have written this one.
The beginning of their end. Destroy it.
Wow.
Hints are available. Hints are available.
Right. I'll take my hint.
John's gonna take the hint.
Text me my hint.
All right. John Hoey.
This reminds me
Boom.
of Clue.
Chewbacca.
Clue, when you show someone like the thing.
Yeah.
I
Just kidding. I didn't send Chewbacca.
I didn't get it yet.
It's coming. Should be coming.
Okay. I do have blue eyes. Thank you, James. Nice of you to ask me on text. Let me hear it again.
The beginning of their end. Destroy it. You got the clue, John?
Yeah, thanks.
Honestly, would have said that I think the clue would really help on this one. Lacey, do you think you got it? You know this one?
I'm just guessing at this point. I'm guessing on all of these.
Except the ones.
Did I make them too hard?
Yeah.
I think some of these are a little on the tricky side.
All right, one more time, James, and I'll write something down.
The beginning of their end. Destroy it.
All right. All right.
All right, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Hux.
Palpatine.
It was Hux. Do you guys know when this was?
Clearly not.
I know it's from The Last Jedi because I took my hint.
Yeah, it is in The Last Jedi. It is somebody reports to him that their shields are gone. They're flying away and their shields are gone and they're on their last leg. And he's like, ha 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 ha, the beginning of their end. And then he tells him to destroy it. And they're talking about like the medical frigate.
Makes sense.
All right.
All right. Quote 7 coming up.
Quote number 7.
So I can't win at this point, right? Like we've decided that.
Yes, you can. It's 7-4 with 3 rounds left.
All right.
You can finish with 10 points. I could still get 1, and you'd still win. Like, yeah, this is still a game.
All right.
Okay.
Our job's done here. Let's go home.
I'm done.
Our job's done here. Let's go home. You guys both got it?
I do.
I wrote something down so fast, and now I'm having the second guess syndrome.
You're probably wrong, John.
I probably am, but I'm gonna stick to my guess.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron.
You guys both got it.
All right.
All right. Next question is on the line. Because I think John's got to miss them both. But Lacey can still win if she gets them. Or tie if she takes a she takes a hint, which would be smart. All right, here we go. No, you guys aren't going to like that. All right. I've got no reading. You sure?
Is that 2 people talking? 1 person
Nope.
talking?
1 person. I've got no reading. You sure? Oof.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I've got no reading. You sure?
Right. That means someone has a reading and they are disagreeing.
I'm going to take the hint.
All right.
Add me to that and make it a group chat.
Negatory, bro.
All right.
Lacey Gillerin.
Read it again while you're texting away there.
How
many? I'm trying to look at how many letters you're typing. I'm just kidding.
I've got no reading. You sure?
I just realized I have my phone on Do Not Disturb.
I think you can still go into text and look, though.
I've got no reading. You sure?
Use the Force, Lacey. Feel your instincts. You may not know it to be true, but you at least know the movie it's from. I've got no reading. You sure? It's getting good now.
I have no idea.
lot of silence. Sorry, that's my fault.
I have no idea.
I feel like it's there, guys.
All right. I mean, I just wrote down something. I don't know if this is right. Tough.
This is a guess.
I've got no reading. You sure?
All right.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Luke Skywalker.
Han Solo.
Wedge Antilles.
Where? New
Return
Hope?
of the Jedi.
Oh, Return of the Jedi, huh?
Yeah.
What is he doing? Is it the attack of the Death Star?
Flying to the Death Star, and Lando Calrissian says, their shields are up. And he says, I've got no reading. You sure? And he says, yes, all craft pull out.
Wow.
So,
Wedge.
where does that leave us? 0-0. That does mean that John wins
Yep.
on the last one. Even if it was, if he gets the next one and Lacey got the next one, it would still be 1 point away. You want to do it? You want to go for it?
Gotta do it.
The last one will be... Man, I might have went too weird on these guys. How about keep the door covered and don't advance until I say?
These are such stock, like, Star
They really
Wars
are.
action scene quotes.
There's a reason I didn't choose
Say
this
it
one
again?
until the end because I'm like, there's something in there that I feel like gives it away.
Say it again.
Keep the door covered and don't advance until I say. And I think you guys would probably be happy with this one over the other ones that I have.
I'm sure. Wow.
Keep the door covered and don't advance until I say. Since we know the outcome, I could technically, if you guys both vote for it, I could give you both the clue and you both get 1 point.
No.
Okay.
Keep the door covered and don't advance until I say.
That's the quote. But John, who said it?
Yeah, no.
Who are you? Coming up after this, folks, we got Resistance Transmissions.
One more time.
The quote one more time is, keep the door covered and don't advance until I say.
All right. I got to guess it ain't a good one, but it's all right.
I'm going to get this wrong. All right.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Leia.
Obi-Wan.
Kylo Ren in The Last Jedi. After shooting down Luke Skywalker and the smoke clears and he's still there, he tells General Hux to keep the door covered and don't advance until I say.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's why I was kind of worried about that one because I felt like when do they ever keep the door covered?
Wow.
But I was kind of afraid you guys might go Rogue One on that one. Or something, some sort of thing. All right, that's it, guys. 6 to 9. Who are you?
Brutal.
I had a bunch of weird ones. Like I had several thousand solar systems have declared their intentions to leave the Republic, which was said by the Attack of the Clones opening crawl.
Get out of here.
Oh my gosh. Can we
Guys,
move on?
I was like, oh my gosh. You guys don't even want to hear my other ones.
I don't.
All right. Then let's move on to the next section.
All right, guys.
What do we got?
It's time for Resistance Transmissions. So as you guys know, every week John puts up a crazy, wacky situation and you guys give your answers. And then I read them on the show. I don't know what the scenario is, so let's see what we got. So the Empire is ruthless, but still encourages employee feedback via monthly suggestion box. What's the suggestion you think Tarkin and Vader would find in the box aboard the Death Star? Up first is Brian Pothier at B. Pothier, and he said, "Let us wear flair. You want us to express ourselves, right? Imperials can get a grim stare anywhere. They come to the Death Star for the atmosphere and the attitude."
Office Space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next is Bethany at beer_fet, and Bethany said, "Hi, Lord Vader. Will you please open a locally sourced calf store in your new Death Star? Calf Bucks burns their calf beans, and it's not a good look for the ultimate power in the universe.
Calf Bucks.
We can take anything, right? Why not better calf? Dash TK421, aka resident hipster stormtrooper." Next up is Lawrence Flynn at LFly11, and they said, "Governor Tarkin. We've had some complaints from visitors on the detention level about a foul stench emanating from the command deck. Possibly a memo on Imperial hygiene needs to be sent out. Hopefully you have the courage to take the responsibility yourself. from detention block AA23. Well done. Next is Ronnie J at Skeletor's Plans. Nice. Ronnie said, please get a memo out station-wide. Baby Dianogas should not be discarded down toilets or garbage disposals. They grow and become bigger problems later. Can you make sure you can care for one before adopting one?
I like that.
Have you guys ever seen that? The whole, like, how did a living creature like that get on in the first place?
No.
Yeah. It doesn't really make sense. I mean, it's been, I guess the Death Star has technically been built for a while, right? Like we discussed, like 19 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I would have to assume that it just came out of like mildew or something. Like it was, it was like born on the ship. Weird.
Next is Adam Green at Velcro Face, and Adam said, can I suggest that Vader stays on the higher levels of the battle station? I hear he has trouble with the low ground. Might come and visit soon. XX Obi-Wan.
Ooh, trash talk.
Next up is Lucky at Captain Margaret, and they said, no more apples in the vending machine, please. Pretty straightforward.
Homer Simpson.
Next is Stephen Miller at Rev Steve Miller. And Stephen said, we, the undersigned, request that all officers aboard the Death Star be allowed to wear uniformed slippers resembling those worn by Grand Moff.
A lot of people made slipper
References.
Yeah.
Next is Ryan Young at The Real Ryan Young, or Yun, said...
He couldn't get the G?
Yeah, I guess not.
He's the real one, but he couldn't get the G at the end of his name.
Yeah. Next is, good day, gentlemen. Kev here from Sanitation. Can we change the standard operating procedure for stormtroopers so they can remove their helmets, especially when using the urinals? Their aim, as you guys may be aware, well, is not the best. P.S. Doing a great job, guys. Keep it up, Kev.
I was just thinking, his name could have been The Real Ryan Young, and he would have gotten it.
Yeah.
Instead of The Real Ryan Young.
Or just real.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Real Ryan Young.
Next is Ian.
That's probably taken, actually.
Probably. Next is Ian Kenobi at Ian Ken 99, and he said, suggestion, Director Krennic Memorial Raffle, first prize 2-week holiday on Alderaan.
Oh, boy.
That's brutal. And last but not least is Phil Brook at Phil J. Brook, who said, has anybody boarded up that exhaust port yet?
Oh, great suggestion. Did not get fulfilled.
Did not. Guys, thank you so much for your answers. If you want to be on the show, make sure to follow us on Twitter at RBATSWNN. Every week, John puts up some crazy scenario, and you guys give your answers, and then we read them on the show. Back to you, John.
Guys, thank you so much for listening and watching and being a part of the Resistance. We hope you had fun with the game. We hope you did better than we did. You usually do. Let us know in the comments what score you got, which ones you missed. We'll have the conversation going. Maybe we'll even pop in on the comments and banter back with you guys on that. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, or whatever audio podcast app you prefer. StarWarsNewsNet.com is where you got to be going for all of your Star Wars news, reviews, editorials, information, and more. Teespring.com/stores/Resistance Broadcast if you want some of our swag, including Make Solo 2 Happen, and a lot of our other stuff like Gary the Porg. The new revised version of Gary the Porg is there for you to pick up as well. And I think we may have some other apparel options coming down the line. Think that, did I cover all that? Yeah, I guess so, right? Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey and at StarWarsNewsNet.com. James?
Twitter and Instagram at Myra Trunks. And you can hit me up too if you want to know any of the other quotes that I omitted from this game. Nice. But I hope you had fun. Put your scores in any comment section you got, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess don't spoil it immediately when we post the episode because people want to check it out. Lacey?
People can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lacey Gillerin.
All right, that is it. That's another episode of TRB in your ears or eyes or whatever. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We hope everyone's safe, well, and hanging in there. Things are still crazy out there, so thanks for escaping with us for an hour plus twice a week. We will have no more of the Mando Fan Show until this fall, so none of us tomorrow. But you can, as always, hit us up on Patreon for more content, and we'll have other stuff on YouTube coming down the line. But enjoy your weekends, and we'll see you Monday right here on the Resistance Broadcast. See you around, kids.